we determined that although we're progressive, socialists, all sorts of people, we needed to have a philosophy which will guide us. At that Congress in 2002, we determined that social democracy will be our philosophy. And we won the first election, we won the second election, we lost and won again. So it's a party that is resilient. I would like to mention that we should hold the party in very high esteem. Any party official who finds himself in government should not begin to believe that therefore government is more important than party. Those who have attended meeting here every Tuesday, if you are a minister, a chief executive, or you are in parliament, why don't you make Tuesday afternoon available? Tuesday. Why is it that you'll be so busy that you cannot get a Tuesday afternoon to come for a meeting? Why should you not be able to attend party programs and meetings? Because you see, we were here. The party becomes weak every time we are in this. So this time, we should pay attention to it. We should pay attention to the party and do what the party should do. We have just celebrated June 4th. Today we are doing June 10th, and I'm sure in the chairman's speech, he will tell you all the other celebrations that we have. But it is all part of our constitutions. Our constitution has determined days which we should celebrate as a party. If we don't do these things and we think that the party will continue to be strong, it will not. It's like having a church building and not attending church. That's our church. And then when it comes to attend the church service, you don't come. That may not be good enough. So let's pay attention to the party. Let's do government very well, but don't let us forget about our party. It's very important. I would like to just recognize at least the general secretaries and the chairman that we have had. If I want to recognize everybody, we will not live here. Our first chairman was Isifo Ali. And the last time I saw him alive was when in a wheelchair. He was carried in the vehicle to this place. We were voting for presidential candidate. At the time we chose Honorable John Mahama. He was brought in by 4 people. They helped him to come out of the car. But he was determined to vote. He came here, and I was here. I was here. I was playing a very, very important role. So I was sitting in here. He's gone. At the appropriate time, maybe the chairman would call for a minute silence for them. But Isifo Ali was the first chairman. But when we got to Congress, we made it a co-chairman by bringing Munufie, who a stalwart from the PP tradition, who displayed a lot of wisdom in the Consultative Assembly, eventually agreed to join our party. After that group, of course, that's in 2002, then Obed Asamoah took over. He is still alive. The old guru Obed, from the formation of the party, he was the one leading us. Then after Dr. Asamoah, Dr. Ajay, may he rest in peace. Then after Dr. Ajay, Dr. Kofi Potofi. After him, Dr. Ofosu, we have doctors, Dr. Ofosu Ampofo. And then after him now, Chairman General. So these are the chairmen we have had, and I need to recognize them. The first General Secretary, the interim General Secretary, when we went to Cape Coast, before we went to Cape Coast, was Dr. Kaiku, a medical doctor from Asiedu, my mother's village. But when we went to Congress in Cape Coast, we elected Hudu, who was then the boss of the CDRs. He was our minister. He was elected there. 2002, you know when we lost, almost all of us, I was the deputy to Hudu from 1994. But 2002, almost all of us said we'll go away and let others come and start. So Dr. Josiah, Dr. Josiah Ayer then was elected at the trade fair. Just before we went to Congress, I think 2006, Josiah had a little problem and acted as General Secretary until we went to one of the most interesting congresses ever in Kofrodia. Then General became General Secretary for a number of years. I cannot count now. I'm being counting, I can't get to the end. 50, 70 years. 17. Then after General comes Fifi. But let me also recognize one group. In organizing to form our party, the role played by our women was massive. I was in the first parliament, and I know what it means to have women supporting you. They don't change their t-shirts. Some of the men, when a new party is coming to town, they collect that t-shirt. They can wear 4. When you are coming, they remove 1. I'm not talking about all men, I'm talking about some. But the women, they support that 31st December organization gave us, the 31st December movement, and all the other women, Mrs. Rawlings, let me mention just a few names. Mrs. Rawlings, Mrs. Cecilia Johnson, Sherry, may she rest in peace. I even have 2 of them right here now, Mrs. Kumaminda and Patience. Patience, please, Patience. Get up, these are the people who we started. They were young ladies, you can imagine 33. They had removed 33 years from their age. There you see how young they were at the time. And then Mrs. Xiao Sapori, the first women organizer, Mrs. Lomote. Yes, Mrs. Lomote. Let me just recognize all of us here were part of it, but I just recognize a few. This is how far we have come as a party. Let us take the party serious. Let's involve ourselves in everything that the party does. And one last thing I want to say is about the party school, and I'm putting it to the leaders of the party, the chairman, the general secretary. Let's take the party school serious. Can you imagine? 33 years after we formed the party, of course, the philosophy was in 2000. Can we be putting people in government now who have not attended party school? Is it not late that there are people who cannot even spell social democracy? They have not been to even the one-day party school that we do. It's not too late. Those who are leading us in other governmental places, and there has not been a party school, we should draw a program and bring them here. Even I'm not talking only about ministers and chief executives. I'm talking about members of parliament. The number there now, the new ones are about 70. Then the new DCs that we have selected, luckily a lot of them are party secretaries, party chairmen, and so they might have attended because we went down to this party school. So I would like to urge the leadership. Chairman just returned from China and saw the museum. We need to have a party museum so that when you come in 1 hour, after you have gone through the museum, you will have no type of thing that I am saying here right now, names and pictures and all that. But the party school is close to my heart. Let everybody be part of it so that the party becomes paramount in our minds. On that note, on that short note, very brief speech, I would like to welcome you to the party office today so that we commemorate the 33rd anniversary. We should all live to see the 34th. And General Secretary, from now on, the commemoration should not just be done in Accra. We should send a letter by now, today. Every constituency should be marking 10 in any form. It could be a cleanup, it could be a seminar, it could be whatever way it is. It should be marked in all the constituencies, just like June 4 or 31st. I wish everybody well, and you are welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman. And indeed, it was really short. On that note, we will be moving to our next event. We will ask all of us to kindly be on our feet for the last post. Please, still standing, let's acknowledge 1 minute silence for all departed souls. May the souls of all our departed comrades rest in perfect peace. Before we take the reveille, I would humbly ask the following people to be behind these flags as we move into the flag hoisting. Dr. Sapon should kindly be behind the Ghana flag, as our regional chairman Nana Toku also be behind the NdC flag, as Honorable Larry Bevlo Latte also stands behind the revolutionary flag as we take the reveille. Be behind the flag. Behind the flag. Reveille. Thank you very much, Dr. Sapon. Thank you very much. As a party, these are our beliefs, listening to the history by Honorable Kofi Atto. The NdC party always stands by the revolutionary flag. The black represents the brave young men and women who sacrificed to defend the rights of the masses. Red represents the blood of the fallen heroes and heroines of the uprising. And the white represents victory stored in establishing people's power. The Ghana flag, red stands for the blood and toil of our forebears. Gold stands for the mineral wealth of this land. Green stands for the richness of our forests and grasslands. And the black stands represents Ghana as the pathway to Africa's emancipation from colonial subjugation. The NdC flag, which we also celebrate today, the green represents the fruitfulness of our land, white represents the victories of the masses to overcome poverty and squalor. Red for the blood and toil of our forebears, and the black represent the quality of the black man, capable of managing his own affairs. On this note, we would move into the wreath laying. We will be laying 3 wreaths this morning. First, on behalf of the founder of the party, then for the cadres and of the nation. The first to lay the wreath this morning will be our national chairman, who will lay the wreath for our father, our founder, His Excellency, the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. Let's appreciate the national chairman. The second wreath will be laid on behalf of our cadres and fallen heroes. To help us is the leader Honorable Shine Gave will be laying the second wreath on behalf of the cadres and all fallen heroes. Comrade Shine Gave is the leader of the United Front, United Cadres Front. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate Comrade Shine Gave. The third one will be laid on behalf of the nation. To help us is our own Alhaji Hudu Yaya, representing the Council of Elders. Thank you very much, Alhaji Hudu Yaya. On this note, before we move to the second part, I'll call on our revolutionary poet to give us a short piece before we continue. Please, I'll need a microphone for him. I'll need a microphone for him. Daniel, kindly help me out quickly. Long way to go, but has come to stay. The great NdC. I need a microphone, please. Has come to stay.
Help me. The great NdC has a long way to go, but has come to stay. Members may come, members may go, but the great NdC has come to stay. The great NdC has a long way to go, but has come to stay. When destiny controls you, you cannot help but ride the toughest storm. So J.J. Rollins wrote the storm fearlessly to achieve results. He had foreseeable vision. He could not describe him as tempestuous and controversial because you failed to understand him and he knew of it. He understood you for admiring his zeal in finding lasting solutions in the darkest end. He gave birth to the National Democratic Congress with his lieutenants and sealed it with his blood as a covenant. NdC was born to a very monolithic revolutionary parents, June 4 and 31st December. 33 years ago, brains met, ideas collected, deep thinkers were organized. Social democrats gathered as a family to witness the birth of a launching child, christened NdC. Grown into fully fledged adults with solid influential all over the world, the founder, JJ, once said to the party faithfuls, those who have been sitting in the comfort of their homes, whether in Ghana, abroad, the US, the hospitals, waiting for others to win the election for them, the time has come for them to come down and hit the campaign trail, somebody has said. No political party in Ghana can boast of mega social policies. Talk about massive infrastructure, none to compare. NdC has grown to uphold the sacrifices of the founder, kudos. 21 gun salute for the Ghanaian brains, past and present. Out of many, one group. Experienced Isifo Ali. Versatile luminary, Dr. Bella Samoa. Outspoken Kwabena J. Soft-spoken Dr. Kofi Potofi. eloquence, Dr. Samuel Ofusankofo, sharp and smart, Joseph Kaiko, plenipotential orator, Fifi Kwete, ever smiling, Dr. Joseph Ayer, cool-tempered, Betty Zidane, affable gentleman, Alaji Hudu Yaya, and indefatigable freedom fighter, Chairman Asiedu Nketia, and many more. This notable personality tutored and continue tutoring NdC party faithfuls. Today, John Mahama has come. The nation builder has come with their 24-hour economy to save sinking Ghana, so that J.J. Rawlings' sacrifices would not be in vain. He has come with a 24-hour policy. The flamboyant vision is a game changer to reset Ghana. The economic policy is not a joke. It's not a joke bag policy. It's from deep thinkers from our steel province. Mega flagship, pregnant with solid benefits, tax incentives galore, security visible, increased productivity, and a multifaceted 3-hour shift colorfully. Yes, grab it with your 2 hands and hearts. Continue propagating it. Your Excellency, Mahama, the cadets, your noble lieutenants are proud of you. We salute you. We cherish you. We adore you. We support you. Hear our humble plea. In the days of old, in the dungeons, they were there. The ghettos, they were there. The gutters, they were there. The cocoa farms, they were there. Carrying them back of cocoa. They really sacrificed. Rain or shine, they never complained. No salaries, no ex gratia. Oh yes, cadets really demonstrated patriotism extraordinaire. Some are passing away like a burning candle. When, oh when, would the living ones be rewarded or celebrated before they depart to meet their maker in heaven? Or are we our own enemies? NdC faithfuls, demonstrate the boldness of our founder whenever you find ourselves. Fearless personality, soldier par excellence, national because it cuts across the whole nation, no discrimination. Democratic because we believe in the tenets of the social democracy. And Congress built on the concept of out of many, one group. NdC, the nation's savior. Happy birthday. Alutan continua.
Thank you very much. And his name is Asiedu, the revolutionary poet. Thank you very much for this piece. In fact, I am tempted to do a quick introduction, but the way we are blessed to be in power, almost all of us here have positions. So I may make a lot of mistakes by mentioning names. But I'm happy to see all our MMDCs in Greater Accra here. They should just give us a wave. Thank you very much. This shows that we are in power. We are all here. We are all here. And I've seen our constituency executives also here. Let's have a wave, constituency executives. The ones with positions and the ones are waiting. Thank you very much. Regional executives, please give us a wave. Regional executives, give us a wave. Yes. Those waiting and those gone. National executives, please kindly give us a wave. Kindly give us a wave. Some people have to raise twice. The deputy CEOs, kindly give us a wave. Because we'll be taxing you after the event, so the rest I will not invite. But thank you all for being here and being part of the 33rd anniversary of our party. We are quickly moving into the second part. We were scheduled to have 3 speakers, but Zaneto is out of the country on parliamentary duties. So I'll humbly invite our General Secretary, Honorable Fifi Fiabe Kwete, as our first speaker of our 33rd anniversary. Let's put it together for him. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Akogan. Let me stand on all protocols and address all of us as cadres of the great NdC party who are here today, members of one family. I remember in 1992, one of the, how will I call it, one of the things about NdC I love in particular was when you say NdC, the response then was one family. NdC, one family. And really that's what this party has been. A family of people who love the country, of people who want the best for their country. I would say one of the things that has been a source of sadness for some of us is the fact that over the years, many of us sadly started viewing this party as simply a vehicle for winning elections. This party has become an election-winning vehicle. Now, what it simply means is that there are many who, for instance, are even members of parliament of this party, that if it were known for the fact that NdC was a party that could win in their constituencies, some of them would have been members of the NPP and of the NdC. So the only reason why some of them are in this party is because there is a vehicle that could win elections for them. So what then it means that we have many among us who have become convenient members of our party. And some of these convenient members of our party even have the audacity to want to aspire for the leadership of this great party. How dare you? Comrades, this party is the supreme vehicle. And that is a message this morning I want to reach even the Jubilee House. Even the Flagstaff House must appreciate the NdC as a vehicle is the supreme vehicle. And the first loyalty always must be to this party. Whenever we say individuals come and individuals go, it applies to everyone. Even leaders of our party will come and go, but the party remains. Flag bearers will come and go, but the party remains. President, vice president will come and go, the party remains. And that must always be number one loyalty. We cannot turn our party into becoming a place where individuals feel they owe allegiances to individuals and not to the party. Sadly, that over the years has become the reality. Is it not unfortunate that we can have celebrations such as June 4, which is the very spirit and the foundation of our party, and you have even members of the functional executive of our party who don't want to have anything to do with June 4 celebration? How dare you? How dare you? Because for many, the party is a vehicle for winning power. So once you get power and you can get a position, that's enough. That must stop. We need to understand what this party is all about. Whether in power or out of power, the commitment to this great party must remain the same. Because this party represents a true hope for the people of Ghana. Kwame Nkrumah, the first great leader and the founder of our country, was a special vehicle And we as a country must be blessed to have him. But after he has done this and paid his dues, this nation went into so much difficulty. The spirit of our nation sank to a very low ebb. We reached a place where this country became the butt of jokes and ridicule. Even neighbors were laughing at us. I know that. Why? Because I was born at the border and schooled across next door in Togo. And I know as a young child how Togolese look down upon our country. Some of you don't have an idea. Where young Ghanaians used to be Shushan boys in Lomé. Our ladies used to be prostitutes in Lomé and Côte d'Ivoire. Until 1979 happened, followed by December 31st. That was where the beginning of the revival of the spirit of our country started. And today you have people who call themselves members of this party and who do not understand the sanctity of these days. What I can say is that those of you who do that, what you truly are MPP people hiding in the NdC and pretending you are members of our party. Asiedu, it's important for us to start placing this party as the number one vehicle. This party must become number one vehicle again. I am always I feel blessed that I was born in June, the 2nd of June. So I think right from birth, I've always been an NdC soul. Born 2 days exactly before June 4. It's a blessing, it's a privilege. I hope to God that especially our young people will start to appreciate what this party is truly about. That's why I feel very sad when I see the young people who they are not even making an effort to understand who we are. They are in a hurry to acquire properties that people have worked for 30 years and don't have. In a hurry to drive vehicles that people have worked as ministers and don't have. Because they think this party is just an opportunity to be able to make something for themselves. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a property, but I'm saying if your motive and your reason for being a member of this party is what you can get, you are in the wrong party. You are in the wrong party. Look for the MPP. That is your party. Asiedu, June 10 is a great day because on this day was born a party that truly has become the hope of the people of Ghana. Now this election that happened on December 7, 2024 was another opportunity for God to tell us NdC that we are truly blessed and privileged. I mean, how many parties will have a presidential candidate who will lose election so disgracefully in 2016 and be given a blessed opportunity to come back after 8 years? How many? It doesn't happen. But in the NdC, it happens. That is why every one of us must appreciate that it is the NdC that makes the difference. Not any individual, it is the NdC that makes the difference. Sometimes we tend to forget it. NdC is the reason why every single one of us is where we are. Some people are in parliament today, and somehow they've forgotten the road on the back of this party to get to parliament. Today, they believe everything they want, they must have. They must determine who the DCE is. They must determine, who is this person who goes here. No! The party is number one. The party must make that determination, not you. And the same goes for anything that we do. The party must get to the heart of everything. And sometimes, cadres, I feel part of the problem is also because of the way we've gone about talking as if cadreship is supposed to be some peculiar thing and the rest of the party are not cadre. I think it's wrong. This party must be filled with millions of cadres. Everyone must be a cadre. Because as long as you sing that song that says, the beginning of our song, which calls all of us to arise for Ghana, it makes us cadres. Arise for Ghana, it means your spirit must be filled with the desire to fight for your country, to place your country as number one, and to ensure that this vehicle continues to be great and strong for the sake of our country. But sometimes when we make it look like only some are cadres and others are not, I think it's wrong. I don't necessarily need to shout revolt to be a cadre. Because sometimes, like the Bible says, there are many who say Lord, Lord, but they don't exactly belong to the kingdom. Because not what you say that matters, it's what you believe and what you live that makes the difference. So therefore, comrades, let us love this party. But above all, let us love this great nation. That's why when the flag was being hoisted, I was telling Comrade Kofiato that I'd be a bit worried that the Ghana flag was lagging behind the revolutionary flag and the NdC flag. It should not be. Ghana must always lead the way. Because everything we do must be about the well-being of our country. So comrades, we want to thank you for being with us on this very important day, which is the anniversary of this great party. I know we all talk about the great infrastructure that NdC works to bring to our country, which is wonderful. But the greatest legacy of this party should not be the physical infrastructure. It should not be the roads we build, or the hospitals, or the schools. But it should be the genuine transformation we bring to the people of Ghana. Giving them a leadership that truly cares. A leadership that is not just humble, but compassionate. A leadership that appreciates that what matters most is to liberate our people and allow our people to reach the level they ought to go. And if we can do that, then this party truly has fulfilled its destiny. So I like the way Comrade Asiedu modified the Revo song and turned it into what? The great NdC song. Because that is what it ought to be. That members will go, members will come, but the great NdC has truly come to stay. So comrades, let's never forget that we all are where we are because of this great party. And this party is what it is because of this great nation. So the nation must always lead, but the party must be the vehicle to enable the nation to reach where it ought to go. On this note, I want to thank all of you, and long live the great NdC. Long live the founder of this party. Long live all the comrades who have served this party in different ways. And long live even the very many millions of our supporters, many of whom never occupy a position, but they care about this party, they care about our country. May they all continue to be strong for the sake of our party, for the sake of our party. Thanks so much.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And for your information, the song that's being played behind was one of the songs that was played during the 1992 elections. My chairman just asked me a question. Where was I? How old was I? Chairman, I go small. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. In fact, I appreciate the passion with which our General Secretary spoke. And I will also take some of the blame for the publicity of this event. And there are two more outstanding ones that is there. And God has blessed us in the month of June. From June 4th, June 10th, June 19th, and 22nd. June 19th is our Cadets Day, and it is also going to be commemorated here. 22nd is our founder's birthday, and for the first time, we are celebrating that one too here in this headquarters. Chairman will be talking a little about it, but the two remaining ones will make sure that we put the news out there and the information out there for all of us to be here and be part of this event. Thank you very much, General Secretary. Next to speak to us is our own chairman, Chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia, also known as General Mosquito. Let's appreciate our chairman, General. Thank you.
Good morning and happy birthday to you all, comrades. I know how the psychology of speeches work. After listening to a very fiery speech, I'll try to be very, very soft and gentle so that I don't bore you. But comrades, 33 years ago, a new political party burst onto the scene, on the Ghana's political scene. It was intended to be the third force, because in this country we have known the CPP tradition and the UP tradition. And fortunately or unfortunately, it has now become the first force. And the others It has now become the first force, and the others are lagging behind. The idea of finding a third force in this country actually predated the NdC. During the Liman administration or Liman elections, 1979, there was an effort to build a political party which would take the best from CPP and the best from then UP, so that we can form the third force. That third force came to be known as UNC. And I wasn't surprised at all that when NdC happened, it was some of these people who were from the UNC background who quickly joined. People like Alhaji Mahama, our current chairman of the Council of Elders. He was the running mate for the UNC at that time. You have people like Dr. Obeda Samoa, who was the General Secretary. No, he wasn't, he contested elections later. But Nana Akufo-Addo was the General Secretary of UNC at that time. People like Harry Sawyer was also there, and your current national chairman was the constituency secretary of UNC in Wenchi West. So you see that when the PNDC was launched, many of these fine gentlemen joined the process to change the country. After 11 years of democratic reconstruction, there was the need to return to constitutional rule. And so there was the great debate as to what the PNDC should do. One faction argued that we should join one of the traditions, either CPP or UP. Another faction argued that we came as nationalists and revolutionaries, so our job is done. Dissolve the PNDC and let everybody join whatever party they chose. And in fact, there were hardliners within the PNDC who felt that they wouldn't have anything to do with multi-party elections at all. Then, yet another group, which was made essentially of cadres, they said that looking at the record of the PNDC, the developmental achievements and the others, we can form a political party on our own which will represent the third force in the politics of this country. There were several meetings. Chairman Rollins himself, I'm sure, was confused. He didn't know which faction to join. But the cadres led the way, and eventually, I believe the final decision to form our own party was taken in Sunyani, I believe. And then the chairman of PNDC was informed that we have decided to form our own party. And that was how NdC came to be. All the others have been spoken about by Comrade Kofi Ato. Much of this history is also documented in our book, our compilation, The Administrative History of NdC. Copies are available at our library. If you want to buy, you get copies. We also have a compilation of NdC constitutions from 1992 to date. If you want a copy, you can buy and you can trace the development of NdC today. And then yet another interesting compilation, which has to do with the manifesto scroll, the things we have promised as a government in the past or as a party going into elections. That compilation is available. The one that we are working on now has to do with NdC in the news. We've compiled all the important news items in the Daily Graphic and in Ghanaian Times about NdC from 1992 to date. Very soon that one will also be launched so that we can have a proper documentation of our history. And I'm sure when the time comes for us to build our museum, we will have all these things shown there so that when we walk through the museum, you know at a glance where NdC had come from and where NdC is going. we started with the consultative assembly. When it became clear that we must return to constitutional rule, there was the need to do a constitution. And that was where some of us met, myself, Kofi Atto, and many other comrades that were mentioned. Were selected from as one person from district assemblies, a certain number of paramount chiefs in the country, a certain number of cadres in the country, and recognizable institutions in the country. Whilst it is true that the UP tradition essentially and the institutions that they control refused to join the consultative assembly, they were very actively working to revive the UP tradition. And so even as the constitutional making was ongoing, there were several meetings both inside and outside the consultative assembly. And that was where we, the cadres, came together to also form one of the earliest cells of the party, which was called the Front. In actual fact, in all our documents, it was called the Revolutionary Front. But we wanted to hide the aspect of the revolution, so we cut it short and called it the Front. Our leader was Comrade Guzitano, and people like Papa Datsun, Cecilia Johnson, and all that were on board, and we were holding night meetings to make sure that the anti-revolutionary forces in the consultative assembly do not craft a constitution that would go against the core beliefs that we stood for, that is probity, accountability. And to ensure that nobody puts in anything there that will seek to disqualify the NdC chairman, who we wanted to be our flag bearer. So that was how the constitution came to be. And again, we recognize that Chairman Rawlings had declared that the revolution has come to stabilize the politics of this country, and that there will be no more coup d'etats. And so, in drafting the constitution, we were consciously looking for ways to produce a constitution that will last. So we took all the previous constitutions from the Independence Constitution up to the Liman Constitution, 79, looking for ways of putting in articles and clauses that will stabilize this country. I'm happy that so far we have achieved that. But when we mention some of the provisions, you will not know that they were put in there to provide stability in our politics. One of them is the creation of the District Assembly Common Fund. Because we realized that in the past, development was, taken to places and areas who had representatives in government. So if you have a minister from your area, then they will work on your roads, they will do your school buildings and others. So if you have an opposition area, then nothing goes there. So we said that let us find a way of making sure that the nation's cake will be distributed in such a way that no matter where you find yourself, you at least benefit something from the taxes that you are paying. So we created the common fund and made a provision that let us put at least 7% of the nation's revenue there into a fund, which will be distributed across the country so that every district at least will have money to provide some development. So that is the background of the creation of the common fund. We also realize that the chieftaincy institution is a very powerful institution in this country. And yet, before this constitution, governments have power to recognize chiefs and to remove the recognition from chiefs. So if a chief finds himself on the wrong side of the ruling government, then they can announce that the recognition of the Omahene of Wenchi or this place has been withdrawn. Then that person becomes an ordinary person. So over the years, our stools became political stools, because depending upon which party is in power, that government will come with their set of chiefs. And immediately, those chiefs are the stools. They also have supporters. So they will go and sit somewhere, mobilize their supporters, those in the army, those everywhere in the civil service, and they begin plotting from day one how to overthrow that government so that their set of chiefs will come and take over. So some of us rascals in the Consultative Assembly, myself, Comrade SP Adamu, and others, we are about 7 of us, we said that let us move a motion to bar chiefs from active participation in politics. Luckily, when it started, it was taken as a joke, but eventually we got it passed, even though there was a significant number of paramount chiefs from all across the country who were present. We managed to convince them that if you are a chief and you involve yourself in politics, not everybody in your paramountcy will belong to your political party. So others will also join another party. And traditionally, you can't speak against a chief. But if a chief mounts a political platform and is speaking against your party and yourself, you have a right of response. And when you mount the platform and you also turn the things against the chief, it means that politically you are correct, but traditionally you are wrong. So we should find a way of keeping chiefs out of our politics, so that the chiefs can be the rallying point for everybody. And when there is a change in government, there will be no need to change chiefs at all. And we also realize that the existing district assemblies, in fact, the district assemblies predate the Constitution. They were established by NdC law 407 or 207. 207. And so the assemblies were in existence in a non-partisan manner, because we thought that the assemblymen should be able to mobilize everybody in the village to participate in communal labor, nation building, and so on. And again, if you have the chiefs to be non-partisan, then they can also join the assemblies and assembly members to also lead the development. So the barring of chiefs from active participation in politics is not intended to take away their democratic rights. But because of the position they occupy, we thought that if they remain neutral, and when there is controversy among the political actors, then you have a stabilizing force that can call the politicians who are misbehaving to order. So that is the reason we did what we did. And that has also contributed in stabilizing our democracy. There are many, many more other things that we can talk about, but I'll just leave these things here. So my appeal is that the Constitutional Review Committee that is currently doing their work, it may be very useful for them to engage the surviving members of the Consultative Assembly so they can understand the rationale behind some of the provisions that we put in there. One important provision had to do with the creation of the Electoral Commission. In the past, it was not possible for an electoral commissioner to declare a sitting government a loser in elections, because we had a sole commissioner, and we have a history of a particular government having lost an election, and when the sole commissioner was preparing to announce the outcome, they moved Mowak into his house military and then chased him. He escaped through the window. That commissioner was called Justice Aban. Then there was an announcement that they couldn't find the electoral commission. So another person was appointed who had nothing to do with the conduct of the elections to now announce that government side had won. Not long after, there was a coup d'etat. So we said that let us move from sole commissioner to a commission of 7 members, so that when an election is conducted and you change the chairman, the vice chairman can announce. By the time you'll be able to chase all 7, at least somebody would have announced, will retire at various times. If the first commission takes off, the members will be retiring and will be replaced, retiring and will be replaced. So at any point in time, no sitting government would have control over the total membership of the commission. And so that's how come after President Rawlings, President Kufuor came, 2 or 3 of them retired, he replaced them. But if 2 or 3 retire, then 4 is still majority. So the new ones who join will not be able to change anything. And it continued like that till we had the almighty Naana, who came to do what he did. And now, okay, I'm going back into those tools. And now, majority of Ghanaians have lost confidence in our electoral commission. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are some of the things. They thought that NdC was made of veranda boys and girls. They don't know anything. We were riff-raffs. But we are proud to say that it is our tradition that has provided democratic stability to this country. So if you are working, you must work proudly that you are a member of NdC. So ladies and gentlemen, before I sit down, Let me announce the names of the founding members of this party who actually signed the documents for the party to be registered. But before I announce them, let me issue a word of caution. The cadres were the people who went around, in some cases, identifying people to sign the documents as the founding members. Because we were taught to believe that it is better to be a kingmaker than to be a king. So whilst we were forming a party, we were advised that you go and look for somebody who is respected in the community to sign as a founding member, so that you will be able to mobilize voters and mobilize community people to win. So the names we have here, some of them did not have anything to do with the NdC at all. In fact, some of them were victims of the process. But we found a way of talking to them, because they were still very important people, that can you join us, and so on. I don't want to expose anybody, but Comrade Avoka, Cletus Avoka was a victim of the revolution. And then you have Upper Wa Central, Asiedu was, I think, a headmaster, director of education, who had been ruffled by the process. But eventually, we got him on board. In fact, Mr. Speaker, current Speaker, Bigwigs, as for him, he believed in the cause. But after having graduated as a young lawyer, there was an announcement that the following people should report at the BNI headquarters 9 a.m. without fail. And when you hear without fail, you don't know whether you are going to be given a position or you are going to be punished. So Comrade Bigwigs and his colleagues rushed there. They rather went to the regional office of the BNI, only to be told that they should go to the headquarters. The time they reached headquarters, they were late by about 15 minutes. So when they say 9 o'clock without fail, do you understand? Before he could say that, he had received a dirty slap. And revolutionary who are going to be assigned duty, they had to slap him first. And you know who slapped Bigwigs? A father said. He grabbed here a father said. So later on, when we met in Parliament, myself and the father stood up one morning, said, oh, NdC people, they were murderers, you are this, you are that. Then I don't go down. Have you forgotten that you slapped me? You slapped me. And then Comrade Bigwigs, he was also all over the place describing NdC as murderers, NdC as having come from coup d'etat and whatever. Then I called him after we got out of Parliament. And I showed him a curfew pass, which was signed by him. Because he had to give you pass to be able to move anywhere in the Upper East region after 6 o'clock. And I managed to retrieve one of the curfew passes he had signed. I said, my friend, you were the hyper-revolutionaries. Is this not your signature? He said, yes. I said, if you joke, I'll display it on the floor of Parliament. So he kept quiet. He never attacked us again. And so the names that eventually had to sign the document, there are people behind the scenes who actually worked harder to form the party. But we needed to use these names as the face of the party. Indeed, in Wanchi, I carried the forms looking for a founder to sign. And we begged some businessman who was not too UP, you know, Wanchi, to sign it for us. So at the national level, we had Comrade Isifu Ali, who was the acting chairman, and then Dr. Joseph Kaiko, the general secretary, and then Mrs. Ernestina Lomote, the first national treasurer. Then we needed regional representatives to sign the document, 10 regions to 10 founders. Comrade George Blake Kofi signed for Western region. And then Dr. Kaiko again signed for Central region where he came from. Comrade Sidney Lai signed for Greater Accra region. Comrade John Kwaku Munye signed for Fulham region. Comrade Yam Tete Doko signed for Eastern region. Comrade Kwajo Mahama Adams signed for Brong Ahafo region. Even Kwaku Sahene signed for Ashanti region. Alhaji Basit Abdullahi Fuseni signed for Northern region. Jonathan Simon Anewina signed for Upper East region. And then Isahaku Malik signed for Upper West region. Yadom Boachi signed for Savio, so those from Western region. Do you remember him? Joseph W. Fofie Adomako, Bebiani Arianso Bekwai district. Kingsley Aswa Apima, Gaboso Bia district. George Blake Kofi signed for Wassa West. John Anokwao signed for Awin Swaman. Emmanuel Fosu signed for Mpoho Wassa East. Emmanuel Kwaku Ochre signed for Amanfi, Wassa Amanfi. Henry Kofi Ahin signed for Nzema East. Aka Ibambi signed for Jomoro. Benjamin Kofi Asiedu, not Professor Asiedu, he signed for Shama Ahanta East. And then Emmanuel Kwamena Datsun Jr. signed for Ahanta West. Cape Coast, Isaac Kofi Kwansa. Commander Egwafo Edina Abrim, K.E. Joseph Kingsley Kofi, Nfansiman Kobina Anantechi, Asebu Abura Asebu Kwamankesi, Joseph Jackson Amankwa. Then Ewutu Efutu Kofi Minta, Comrade Kofi Minta. He passed not long ago. And then Gomwa Joseph Kaiko, signed for Gomwa. And then Albert Opoku Fofie signed for Upper Denchira. Kofi Ankama, Fifo Himai Denchira. I think it's the sister or the daughter who just won that seat for us. Samuel Maxwell Ofori Agona, Kwame Donko, Asikuma Odobin Brakwa, Joseph Kweku Enos, Ejumako Enyan Esem, Dr. Atufosin's constituency. Then Peter Lawe signed for Asen. Greater Accra, there were only 5 districts at that time. So Tete Aye Mokemo signed for Accra. Kweku Romeo Sami Tete signed for Tema. Robert Tete Dadebo signed for Dambe East. Daniel Tete Wayo Nate signed for Dambe West. I'm sure Kumre Hudu is counting those who are alive. You are counting those who are alive and who are gone. Madam Beta A. Bula signed for Hope Central. Nathaniel Kwaku Pipiche signed for Gwandu. Charles Williams Addy signed for Jasikai. John Kwajo Japong alive signed for KJB. You see why he is the chairman of chairmen and also the regional minister. Then Bernard Kwaku Mensah signed for Karachi. Sylvester K. Oboisa signed for Nkwanta. Francis Kosi Segbeji signed for Keta. Dr. Bernard Kwesi Glover signed for Swakope. Cisneros, Hotel Cisneros, the owner. Then Felicia Ajo Logo Gota signed for Adidome. Then Matthew Kwaku Atigo signed for Ketu. And then Vincent Gasso signed for Akachi. Eastern Region, Samuel Osai Ajimai, New Jaben. Asante Yeboah, Suhum Krabwa Kota. George Yeboah, Osafo Martinson, Akuapem North. Joseph Asare Akotia signed for Akuapem South. Joseph Kwesi Ojeyem, our chief farmer, isn't it? Yes. He also signed for Yilo Krobo. Emmanuel Opoku signed for Asoja Mine. Emmanuel Tete Telford, Major Emmanuel Telford Tete, the Okokroko himself, he signed for Manya Krobo. Then Yao Mensah signed for Brim North. Emmanuel Osam, Brim South. Kwaku Harrison, West Achim. Danny Kwame Ofuriata signed for East Achim. The Eagle Man who died, yes. Then Alexander Samdako signed for Kwaibi Brim. Ampim Dankwa Abuaje, Kwausa, our job man. Then Lawrence Kofi Chirifo, chief farmer, also signed for Afram Place. Then Kwame Amfo entry signed for Fantiakwa. Ashanti region. Yes. Ashanti region. Emmanuel Brobe, Asante Achem North. Opani Koi Ayisi, Asante Achem South. Kachire Badu Kwajo, Achuma. Paul Ohinimba Ajaben stand for Amansia West. Kwabena Asiedu Ajimai, Amansia East. Kwajo Abu Adansi West. Togbe Zigi Sefenum Adansi East. Michael Kofinsia Ahafuano South. Kwabena Brichum Ahafuano North. Kwaku Gira Podo Sechre West. Joseph Kofi Amwa Sechre East. Mohammed Adujamfi Ejra Sechre Dumase. Kwajo Adujamfi Efija Sechre. Susana Osaibonsu Kwabre. Robert Ahenkai Ofenso. Opani Kwame Frimpong Edriso Jabe. Kwabra Nkrumah Bosonche Achuma Kwahoma and Anthony Osei Nsenchiri signed for Kumasi Metro. Brong Ahafo Francis Kwesinsia Techi, who I went round to discover, he signed for Wenchi. Then Joseph Adom signed for Techiman. Joseph Adom, the contractor. Maxwell Oti Yeboah, the timber miller, he signed for Sunyane. Then Mr. Owusu Asubonte signed for Tano. Mr. Kwame Techiapia Atebubu. Emmanuel Nkrumah Buadum Sene. Nana Kofi Jimedu Nkranza. Alaji Alasan Yaubi Kintampo. Mr. Joseph Dominic Ampoma Brekum. Mr. Christopher Kofi Ansu Jamai. Mr. Yaokumi Achao. Doma David Lee Lawe Caesar signed for Asunafo. And then Madam Adam Abukari signed for Asutifi. Northern region, Alaji Alasan Haruna Yendi. Alaji Fuse Nigola. Bushegu Karaga. Mr. Joel Wumbe Ubo. Saboba Chepone. Alaji Amadou Sona Zabzugu Tatale. Alaji Mahamadou Meda Tamale. Alaji Zakaria Abdallah Tolong Kumbungu. Alaji Ziblim Mumuni Savlugu Nantong. Alaji Habiba Draman East Gonja. Marshal Adam Adu Nonumba. Alaji Adam is alive. Okay. Alaji Adam Sibri West Gonja. Robert Tia Abulai West Mamprusi. Alaji Ali Yahaya East Mamprusi. Ray Abulai Bakari signed for Bole. Chief Bakari was also at the Consultative Assembly with us. Then Upper East, Madam Juliet Hilda Salifu Bolgatanga. Robert Aduko Anaba Bongo. Sheriff Ahmed Guma, may he rest in peace. Boku East. Kletus Apul Avoka. Boku West. Major retired Regent Ajobi Achab for Bulsa. And then Jonathan Simon Anewena, Katsina, Nankana. Upper West, Ishahaku Malik, signed for Wa. Ishahaku Nantoma, signed for Nadole. Alhaji Baba Ishahaku, signed for Laura. Abraham Zato, Jirapa Lambusie, and Alhaji J.K. Al-Hassan, signed for Sesala. So, comrades, these are the ladies and gentlemen who signed the documents for the registration of NdC. There are several other people who actually carried the documents to follow the leaders to the Electoral Commission. Baba Sharif? Alhaji Baba Sharif was one of the people. So he doesn't want us to forget that he actually carried the forms. So we also remember him for carrying the forms to follow the elders to go to the Electoral Commission to register. So, comrade, at this stage, when you listen to the list, I'm sure that close to 50% of the founding fathers are gone. Whatever we need to do to honor the living ones is something that I'll charge the National Executive Committee to consider in the coming weeks. When we were celebrating the June 4th in Kropo, Odomase, I made a pronouncement, which is a proposal we will be tabling before NEC and the other bodies of the party for consideration. I've gone around several places in the world, visiting several political party offices because of the position I held as the Vice President of Socialist International. And wherever you go, majority of the political parties name the headquarters after the founder of those parties. So we have proposed that the NdC headquarters should be named Rawlings House, pending approval by the National Executive Committee. You have approved it. You are not part of the approval. We have also proposed. At first, we realized that I think somebody drew our attention to the fact that most of our holidays fall in the month of June. You talk about June 4th, you talk about June 19th, the Cadence Day. You talk about June 10th, the founding of the party. And the birthday of our founder also falls on June 22nd. So it has been proposed that June should be designated as NdC month, so that we use the whole month to do the various celebrations. So we are saving the General Secretary from spending on his own birthday party because he's also a June born. And Comrade Zanato was also born on 1st June. Comrade Larry was born on the 3rd June. Many people were born there. So, some are quiet, some are controversial. And then those of us, very quiet and calm, and some are controversial. We are December borns. So we are beginning the celebration of our founder's birthday this year. So from here, our next celebration will be to join the cadres to celebrate June 19th. That was when some anti-revolutionaries tried to derail the revolution. And those guys were eventually neutralized by cadres. So we have designated 19th June as the cadres day. Then after that, we will celebrate the Founders Day on 22nd of June. So on this note, I want to thank all of you for coming to mark this occasion. We decided on a low-profile celebration so that we can also honor the Homo festivities, which requires that there must be a ban on noise making in the Accra metropolis. That is why we decided to make this celebration a low-key event. I'm sure next year we will do an outdoor event. So thank you very much. Eyezu. Eyezuzu. Eyezu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General, Chairman General. With the rich history told by Comrade Ato, by the General Secretary and our National Chairman, NdC remains the richest party in Ghana in terms of history, its formations, amongst others. So with me are two books here that I want to introduce to all of us here. The one on my right is the administrative history of NdC. From 92, all the letters that were written administratively in and out of this office are all compiled here. Everything about NdC to 2020, 1992 to 2020 is here. Then on my left is the manifesto scroll of the NdC. These are rich books that I pray would be in every library in Ghana. And to the media, you will need a copy of this book for your research in your offices. So you can always come here. A copy is just 1,000 cedis. So you can come here and pick a copy for yourself and for your institution. Thank you very much. Thank you. Then there's no birthday without a cake. We are going to cut the 33rd anniversary cake. And all executives here, region, can join the chairman, and then the general secretary and the chairman, and all FEC members here. You can also come and join the national chairman for us to cut the 33rd anniversary cake. After that, are you ready? Okay, gentlemen, let's help them bring the cake here. After that, Comrade Hudu Yaya will be giving us the closing remarks, and then Barbara Sewa Asamoah, Deputy General Secretary, will also give the vote of thanks before we leave here. Bring it closer here because the camera is here. Okay, that's fine. Knife and matches. Bring it. Please, kindly move to the back. Cameraman, kindly move to the back. So, National Chairman, General Secretary, a rep from the Regional Chairman, then Alhaji Hudu Yaya, Comrade Gbeblo Latte, then Barbara, organizer. Please come and join them.
You can call everybody. Lighter. You can just be a few racks.
Okay, now let them do it. Come on, now. I'm coming. So we are cutting this cake in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Long live the NdC. Vic, please come down for the cameras, please. Come down. Let the song go.
Adios, the cameras. Adios. The cameras, adios.
Yes. You okay? Arise for Ghana, all patriots of the land, towards a secure future, development our goal, from victory unto victory. So please, let's resume our scene. Aduma, few. Sorry. Okay, so Vic and the team should carry the cake and then make sure that before you leave here, you'll be given a piece of the cake before you leave here. So we can take the cake away now. All right, thank you. Please kindly resume your seat as we invite Alhaji Hudu Yaya for his remarks. Please resume your seats. Let's go this way. Please, Alhaji Hudu Yaya is taking the podium. Please resume your seats. Please resume your seats first. Resume your seats. Honorable Chief Executives, in the next 5 minutes we'll be done, please, so that you can have that wonderful interaction. Thank you very much. So, Alhaji Hudu Yaya.
NdC, please. NdC. Our national chairman, Honorable Johnson Asiedu Nketia, our General Secretary, Honorable Bigwigs, all protocol observed. I stand on all the protocol that has been established since the beginning of this function. Let me join all our team members around the globe in this world to congratulate the NdC on the 33rd anniversary of the founding of the party. Time is far gone, and I know there are other functions that all of us have to attend, so I will not take much time. We have been treated to the history of this party, and a lot of information has come out. And I hope we will make good use of the information. A lot which is not, or which cannot be found in books as at now. So please, I hope we'll make good use of the information we've got. And I hope our communication department will also get it out far and wide to those who have not had the privilege to be here. We've been reminded of the ideals and the values of the party by various speakers, especially the National Chairman and the General Secretary. And the General Secretary has reminded us that you cannot pick and choose the values of the party or the ideals of the party, which our founding fathers bequeathed to this party on the 10th of June. Any varying of the values and ideals are things that were done at proper congresses, proper fora of the party recognized by the Constitution. But it's not going to be for any individual to pick and choose. He says, he also reminded us that if you are coming into the party for the purpose of bettering your lot, your material status, acquisition of material gains in the NdC, he says, then you are in the wrong party. Please go to the party where it is their lot to do this. As I'm saying, I can see this young girl who is now an elderly woman nodding her head. I remember her national service. She had finished her national service. We forced her to be a candidate of Ofinsu South. After that, she didn't win. She left for London as a young person to better her future. We were looking for a candidate again. I was part of those who denied her that opportunity. I sided with Nana Konedo Ajima-Rawlings. We deported her from UK back to come and be candidate of NdC again, Ofinsu South. And that is our present Deputy General Secretary. Can we see you? These are some of the sacrifices that have been made and put into this party for it to be here today. I can see another tweet nodding his head like a toad. That is our brother who is now a senior member of the party. Please, the name. Ludwig, a very young person. He was still building his future. He came, joined, he was nobody, but he will always be in the forefront to go to prepare the party for its functions. You know, if we have any serious function ahead outside Accra. Today, he's one of our elderly people, you know. And I salute all the senior people in front here. Then, the chairman of the party has also told us that the party is working itself towards building a museum. And we've started so far with the administrative history of the party. And he has advised that every serious member of the party should try to have this in collections. He says we have the administrative history of the party. We have also compiled the manifestos of the party. We have also compiled the constitutional historical development of the party. Then, again, we have been reminded of the meaning of being an NdC member. Please, being an NdC member, the values and the ideals for which our founding members, and when the chairman was speaking about this, he asked me to be counting those who are alive and those who are dead. I just hope he was not expecting that I'll be among the dead. But he was serious. He wanted us to appreciate how much people have given their lots to this party, most of who did not occupy any position. They are no more on this earth to occupy any position. And yet they have helped to build this party, which we are celebrating today. So he was reminding us that we should think of building the party, leaving behind something called the party for those yet unborn, rather than we ourselves. What have I got? Because I was not nominated for this position, I'm angry. Because I was not, they call you now for party duty, you will not appear. No, that's why he was reminding us. Please, please, all of us, whether you occupy a position or not, be ready to give in for the party. I am here today because he got me out of my hole. When he called, I didn't make any argument. Did I make any argument to the chairman? No. When my younger one called, I could give him excuse because I was not in Accra. Then in the night, when he called, I saw the name. If I knew this was what, I would have pretended I haven't seen the call. But the moment I took the call and this was what he said, who am I to say no to my chairman? Yeah. And this also means that in growing, the young will definitely become the old tomorrow. Please, when someone says something to you, it is not by his height. It is not by his degree. It is not by how much money. He's speaking with the party's voice. Listen to the party. That's what party means. And then we were also reminded by both the national chairman and the general secretary to think of the relevance of the party into the future. Into the future. Please, people have put in a lot. And they put in the lot because of what they understood the future of the party to be. I was sitting with Colonel Goglolati, who became commander of one of our most prestigious military institutions in this country. And we were recounting June 4th, June 19th, what happened that day. And between me and him, we agreed that even 23rd September even was worse than June 19th. But June 19th was what people heard a lot. 23rd September was the day Achana and Co. They were at the race course firing salvos into President Rawlings' office in the castle, the old castle on top over there. I was there in the castle that day. But they had started Agonda Barracks before they moved to the race course. But these are all things maybe later those who are recording our history will bring it out so the younger ones will know. All what the chairman and general secretary were doing, trying to tell us is that we must build a strong foundation so that the party will be stronger than what it is today. That's what they will tell us. So a senior member of the party is also saying that I should add it for consideration that we should also help to build party cadre corps, so that it can be wider for a lot more people to be in. So colleagues, this is what I've been asked to do, and I thank you all. And may God bless us that the next celebration will be bigger than this. There are a lot who are not here because they have responded to God's call. They all rest in perfect peace. There are those who are here because those who are not here because we are here for them. They are onto other national duties for the party. It's not because they don't want to. But the chairman, the general secretary made something some very passionate thing. Let's keep it in our minds. Don't think that because you are occupying some position out of the party, that becomes more important than party functions. No, it's wrong. It's not correct. The party comes first before any other. If you are not here, it's because the party has given you permission. And when I say the party has given you permission, if maybe you are an MP and there is a very important committee meeting, the party may excuse you, but it is also proper you let the leadership of party know.
If you are minister and there is some very important thing, or maybe you are outside, let the party leadership know. Then that means you are given official permission. But don't take it upon yourself to make your choice as regards to be or not to be. I thank you very much.
Please, for emphasis on what Alhaji said, he says that the cadre core should be made as part of the structure of the party, and that was the request that Alhaji Huduyaya was doing. And on that note, I'll call on our Deputy General Secretary, Barbara Sewa Samoa, to give us the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Comrade Akugan. Mr. Chairman, the General Secretary, distinguished national, regional, constituency executives, past and present, who are here today, and also standing on existing protocol. It is very, very gratifying to be given the opportunity today to thank you for coming to today's program. Let me first of all give glory to the Almighty Father for making this day that we are rejoicing in it. On behalf of the party, I would like to extend our warm thanksgiving to the Chairman and the General Secretary for your slow and firing speeches today. In fact, we have learned a lot, and we hope that those who are here and even those who are not here will always take a cue from it. To the media, thank you very much for being here today. The NdC party is always grateful to you for attending to our call. And to all of you here today, and those who have joined us online, we say thank you very much, and may Almighty God bless us. Long live the NdC, long live Ghana. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. So soon we come to the end of the celebration.